And welcome one, welcome all to this game live from the Port Hawkesbury Civic Center. It's the U15 AAA Female Provincials as the Metro West Force Blue team take on the Quad County Whitecaps. Quite a bit of storylines in this game, as if the Western Force Blue team can beat the Whitecaps here in regulation, they will eliminate the Whitecaps from contention for the final two championship game on Sunday. And of course the Whitecaps looking to get into victory. If they win in regulation, they will take first place in the tournament for the time being. So a lot on the line. In these next couple games, it's a toss-up between all the teams, as there's so many combinations of things that can happen. These next couple games are ready to start the opening face-off here, as that draw moved onto the side, flipped into the zone here by Force Blue as they get on the forecheck right away, trying to get off the puck here. McHenry trying to get a hold of it. Taken now by the Whitecaps, moving ahead up the ice. Out they come. Here comes McKinnon. Catherine McKinnon down the wing, stopping up in the offensive zone, chipping it ahead there for Francis McDonald. They get things started on the forecheck. McHenry picks up that puck here for Force Blue. Good intercept there and dump back in the zone here. Stopped up by Fry behind the goal. Ava Fry getting the start in goal for Western Force Blue. Moved ahead off the boards, taken here by Force Blue as they skate up the ice. Chipped into the zone and into the corner. Back and forth the defense go as they move it out. Here come the Whitecaps. It's Sponigal moving up the right wing side, holding on to it, one hands it into the zone, taken here by Fenton around the boards, looking for Payne. It goes by her, and Reynolds picks that up on the wing, trying to center it. That goes by everybody all the way down the ice here. And that's going to be an icing call against Western Force Blue. And interesting note today, Western Force Blue number 12, Kaylee Munden, is celebrating her 14th birthday today, so a happy birthday from us at High Button Sports to her. And one thing on the mind today is probably a good birthday present to win here in this game. And of course they have another game later on today, which is the last game of the day, as they'll face off against Fundy Highland Stars, who just got a 6-1 victory against the Inferno earlier. And so they go into contention for a final spot as well. Like we said before, a toss-up here between the teams as to who's going to advance to the final. Moved into the corner, and that's another icing here against Western Force Blue. So we'll go all the way back down to their end for this face-off. Munden on the draw. Trying to win that puck battle here as they can hold it into the corner. Shot there, a short side shot, but it went wide. Taken by Tuddy now, trying to dangle. Get a pass free to Munden. She skates through neutral zone ice, dumps it in. Flora Murphy on the reception, trying to clear. Taken on the sidewall, moved ahead there for Richards. Sean Richards moving up the right wing side, taken off the puck by Payne as she skates behind the goal. Marley Payne, captain of the Western Force Blue team, skates by, weaving her way through the neutral ice, steps into a big slap shot, glove down, and held by Reed. Abigail Reed getting the start in goal here for the Whitecaps. And we got quite a crowd here for this game as things start to get interesting in this tournament. Lots of fans tuning into this one at home as well. We're glad to have you with us. And it looks like there could be a technicality with the ice surface here, as the referees are having a look at the other end here. There could be a divot in the ice, possibly a cause for concern for player safety here if they're going to have to come in and try to patch up this hole in the ice. Don't have the best angle here on what's going on, but the officials are try to fix the issue here. It could be probably the boards or the ice. But one of the rink technicians coming in here to try to survey the problem. And so a short timeout here, as we'll mute the microphone here for a little bit as we get things situated. Both teams taking a break here on the bench. Back shortly. And it looks like they got the problem sorted. Turns out it was a hockey stick, a broken stick that was wedged into the boards as we got a view of it there. And 3 officials and a rink technician had to lose their muscle to get that stick out of the boards area so that the players could continue playing here. And now we're back down into the defensive zone here as Galena makes chase for Force Blue. Taken there by Francis McDonald. McHenry trying to clear. Backhanded free into the corner. Pass across. Intercepted momentarily by Francis McDonald, but taken away now by Zwicker. Zwicker up the center of the ice area. That's going to be offside at the blue line here. And so we'll take things back to the neutral zone ice for this face-off. Munden on the draw. That one won by the Whitecaps. Olivia Morel gets it across. She gets a return pass there just out of her reach. Shovels it ahead. Move to the side. Eddie on it now. Moving up to the neutral zone ice. Steps three, fires a shot. That one caught the toe of Abigail Reed and went wide. A quick reactionary save there as Tuddy tries to get on it here. Munden in her skates and taken away here. Moved out to ice. Here comes McCackern down the wing, shovels it in. Making the simple play and going off for a line change as she gets Another player on the ice, and it looks like it's McClellan. And here come the Whitecaps again. Pass in front looking for Sponigal. She can't get the shot away as it was behind her. And it's taken away here by Force Blue as they move up the ice. Morrell moves it across here for Brophy. Brophy across, finds McClellan. She's got some time and space. Steps by, and a good defensive pinch off there by LeBlanc. She got into the play, angled the play off there. And now Western Force Blue looking to clear the puck here. LeBlanc gets a hold of it. Pinned on the wall there, trying to get off the puck there was Chisholm. Chisholm tries to sweep it in. That moves out to neutral zone ice, and a foot race for it here. Brophy gets ahead of there. Brophy on it. Off the backboard, trying to find Murphy. Flora Murphy already 2 goals in the tournament. She's got a good shot from the point as now Chisholm fires it out. And a foot race here as Fenton gets back to find that loose puck. Right behind her own goal there, almost collided with the goaltender. Quick skating move, and didn't notice she had as much time and space as she thought she did. And now LeBlanc trying to clear it. Nice active stick there for Hodgson. Or excuse me, Brophy that is. Moved ahead, nice pass ahead to Payne. Payne moving in alone. Payne on the back end, a streaking save there by Chisholm. The stick got out of her hands, but she didn't throw it. Didn't look like anyway. And moved ahead, Chisholm on the back end, clears it out to neutral zone ice. McDonnell moves it across. Intercepted there, and out they come the other way. Shot there, glove down. And taken out by Fry as she holds on to that loose puck. And we get a defensive zone draw here for Western Force Blue. As the pressure starts to mount in these games as we get edge closer to the end of this all-important Saturday contest, as these are the games that decide the standings for that championship final. As for every team, it's nothing but a win will do. As that's moved out and taken now by Western Force Blue. Nice move to get by. Brown moving in on the left wing side. She's got a player in front in McHenry, but she can't get it to her in time. Another shovel in front, and that's taken now. Out comes Turner trying to get by. Taken by Brown again in transition. Slides it across, and intercept here by Doiron. Carrie Doiron pressured there by McHenry trying to get her off the puck. Off the boards to Brown. Brown skating free. Gets it to Zwicker. Zwicker a shot save. Rebound chance in front of that. What a save that was by Reed. Great pressure here by Western Force Blue as they look to get on the attack. McHenry in the corner. McHenry had a hat trick in the opening game for her team. And now out come the Whitecaps. Moving out the other way. Here comes McCackern down the right wing side. Holding on to it. Waits, shoots, and a save made there by Fry, and she holds on to it for the whistle. Callie Hodgson on the draw. Moving it in deep here. Payne on the puck. A battle in the corner now. Trying to move it ahead. Western Force Blue looking to get it out. It's taken there. And the Whitecaps gain possession here. Morrell moving it ahead there for Sponigal. Sponigal gets it in deep. Stopped up by Fry for defense in Payne. Payne moving wide. Chips it off the boards. Almost held the line by Beaton, but not quite. She's attacked there by one of the Western Force Blue forwards, and that goes deep again. Fry rimming it around the boards, playing the puck, trying to get it to Tuddy, but that goes free. Payne now behind the goal, holding on to it. Good defensive pressure here by the Whitecaps to try to keep this alive in the offensive zone. Sponigal behind the goal. Off the back of the net and into the corner. Foot race forward here as Legere tries to get to it. That's kept alive here by the Whitecaps. Going to get that cycle play going. Holding on to it is Richards trying to center, and that's taken away. Munden on the puck. Below her own goal line. Getting in defensive awareness here in her own zone. It's taken again here by Fenton on the backhand. Holding on to it. Munden goes for a line change as Fenton tries to get it in deep. Taken by Brophy now, turning with it, trying to exit the zone. Chisholm slides it ahead to Reynolds, leading goal scorer in the regular season for the Whitecaps. Steps wide, holds on to the puck on the backhand. Skating around in the offensive zone, tries to change position and swaps places here with the defense. Shot there from distance off the skate in front and cleared out to the neutral zone by the Western Force Blue defense. Off the boards. Galena trying to get that loose puck. Holds onto it, waits for play to develop, slides it to the center ice area. Across to LeBlanc now on the left wing side. Up they come up the ice. Backhanded free, can't get a clean zone entry here as the Whitecaps collapse defensively there and block the passing lanes. Taken again off the boards. McDonnell moves it across. Just out of the reach there of Galena. One hands it over to Reynolds, who looks to chip it in. She does. They get a line change here to Western Force Blue. As Payne moves in on the offense here. In the corner, trying to center it loose in front, and that's cleared out. And now out comes Mia Turner. Chipping it in wide. Up behind the goal. Brown trying to clear. The captain in Francis McDonald looked to take her off the puck, but Brown gets free. Moving into the center of the ice area, stops up, waits and shoots, and a good pad save there for Reed. Great back and forth action here in the first. This one's going to be a barn burner, folks. Good chase of the puck for Turner. She can't get a shot free there. And she's pinned to the wall here. The Whitecaps get it to the point. Shot there from distance all the way through, and a great save through the screen by Ava Fry. She saw it all the way and made the save. And so we'll have an offensive zone face-off here for the Whitecaps with 5:45 remaining here in the first period of play. And the Hodgson line is back on the ice here to start this game, or start this face-off rather. That's moved out and down the ice. Race for it here as Tuddy looks to get after it. Doran gets back in time, but Tuddy trying to strip her of the puck in the offensive zone here. Looking to get some pressure on here are the Western Force Blue as that's off the boards, taken on the point. Shot from distance, patted aside and covered by Reed. 5:23 left here in the first period of play. No score just yet, but plenty of chances both ways here as the feeling out process is over. Both teams just trying to go to the attack and capitalize on whatever opportunities they can as that all-important first goal of the game in games as pressure-filled as these ones give an advantage, and that's a great shot there just wide of that stick side as Munden pulled the trigger on that one. Fenton on the point trying to put it through traffic, but it's taken here by the Whitecaps, and out they come with it. Moving ahead is Callie Hodgson trying to get it free here. She's rubbed out there by Fenton, who tries to get her off the puck, and they're taken by Sponigal now. Trying to step in the offensive zone. Gets it free there, shot by McCacker, and that's stopped in front, and a good save there for Fry once again through a screen. Here comes McCacker shoveling it in. She goes for a line change here as the Whitecaps look to keep those shifts short and sweeten to the point. You don't want tired legs here on games where the speed and the pace of play is at its maximum here. Games like these at the Provincials where it's nothing but 100% effort throughout as Payne moves ahead with it. Trying to clear it. Brophy on the puck. Excuse me, Beaton rather. Krista Beaton trying to clear. That goes into the near corner. Back deep it goes to Reynolds. Reynolds on the puck. Holding onto it, trying to sweep it in front, but that's taken away. And a risky move there, but she gets free. As in comes Richards. Look at her dance with it. Here she comes, trying to get it free, and that's taken away now. What a great defensive play there by Western Force Blue, and they come up the other way. Here comes LeBlanc down the wing. Holding onto it on the backhand. Waits, and can't get a shot away here. She puts it in the corner for McHenry. Leading goal scorer in the regular season, Eleanor McHenry with 26 points in 30 regular season games. Gets a hold of the puck on the backhand. Shot there. Sticked aside by Reed. Into the corner it goes. McHenry after it once again. Slides the point to Brown. Brown stepping wide. Shoots in a hard one, but it's wide of that stick side. Looking to go against the grain with the shot. Zwicker on it now. Gets it to McHenry. McHenry behind the goal. Turning with it. Trying to get it free there for a pass option. And that goes all the way down the ice here. And that was touched up by McHenry, so no icing there. Paddled there by Fry to get it to the defense quickly for a transition play. Up ahead of McHenry, streaking up left wing side. Dances by, can't get a shot away here. As it's taken now by the Whitecaps off the boards. Zwicker dumps it back in there for Western Force Blue as that's in behind the goal. Into the corner now. Pass outlet there for McKinnon. Catherine McKinnon down the wing. Holds onto it, rips it down into the zone, and the Quad County Whitecaps look to get the dump and chase game going here. Eddie stopping up, takes a tumble there in the corner. Here they come again. Francis McDonald trying to get it free. Right outlet pass just out of the reach of Brown, who was gathering speed in the neutral zone, and that's fired back down. Stopped up by Fry, but not quite. It goes around to Legere, who tries to stick it by the defense. Good pinch there on the wall as the Whitecaps battle here for possession. Some good healthy checking here as Francis McDonald took a little bit of liberties there, and she might get called here. And there's not going to be any calls on the play. They're just going to let them play here as puck is frozen on the wall. So we'll reset in the offensive zone here for the Whitecaps for this draw. Munden's back on the ice here, trying to win that draw. That's touched up in midair by Munden, and she clears it down the ice. Goes all the way down, foot race foot, stopped up there by Reed for defense. In Morel. Olivia Morel gets it free to Beaton. Beaton on that to Fenton. Fenton's shot, that's blocked in front. Taken in by the Whitecaps, cleared out into the neutral zone ice. Fenton looking to battle for it. Now it's taken and fired in by Tutty. She goes for a line change. Olivia Morel behind the goal. Stepping free and firing it down the ice, looking for a streaking player in McCacker, and it goes by her. McCacker takes a tumble, and Fenton retrieves that for Western Force Blue. LeBlanc moving it to the side, trying to take a nice move there by Payne. She gets by, number 8 down the wing, or 6 rather. Payne. Pass in front of that shot, deflected in front. They bang away, and it's finally covered there with a glove save by Reed. Chaos in front of the Whitecaps net, and Western Force Blue unable to capitalize as they start to turn up the heat at the close of the first period of play here. Great playmaking ability there shown by Brianna Payne, number 6 of the Western Force Blue. McDonald parked at the top of the circle on this draw. LeBlanc steps in to take that puck away, but a good battle here by the Whitecaps, and they chip it ahead. Could be an icing here, but it slows down, and for Galena, who has to retrieve it here off the boards and around the boards to Reynolds, who tries to stick it free. Now it's taken by Chisholm. Allie Chisholm down the wing, drops it back. Spinning shot, that goes just wide of the stick side. Into the corner now. On the near wall, LeBlanc looking to battle for it. It's moved free here. Reynolds trying to get a hold of it. LeBlanc takes it up. Here comes LeBlanc, number 5, up the center of the ice. Tries to dance free and can't get a shot away. She goes into the corner and chases after, but she goes for a line change here. She's got some tired legs. And now out come the Whitecaps the other way. Moving ahead was Murphy, unable to make a play as Zwicker comes in transition. Zwicker down the wing. Holds onto it, takes a shot. It's a half speeder off a deflection, and it's covered by Reed with 32.1 seconds to play here in the first. Both these teams know how important that first goal is to gain momentum in such a high-stakes game. And in the last few minutes, it has been Western Force Blue with the bulk of the chances. It's a game of momentum is hockey, and can swing back and forth in different plays. You want to capitalize on your opportunities and put the team on the back foot. It's force meets force here as Zwicker on the board trying to get it deep here for Blue and generate some scoring chances here. Just 19 seconds to go. Around the boards, Brown behind the goal. Holding on to it, Brown checked there. Zwicker on the puck, gets it free to the front, but it's taken now by McClellan. Or that's McKinnon rather. McKinnon holding on to it, trying to work it free and dumps it in. That'll do it here for the opening frame. No score after 1. Just a short break here for the teams to get settled before the second period. We'll be right back with the second period of play. Don't go anywhere, folks. And what did I say, folks? Short break. We're right back with the second period, lining up at center ice here to get the action continuing here into the second. No score after one. We'll see if either of these teams can break the ice here in the second and get that all-important first goal, as that's dumped in right away by the Whitecaps, looking to set the tone early here in the second, as they were on the back foot at the end of that first period, as the Western Force Blue looked to dictate the pace. And remember, as I said earlier, the Whitecaps are looking to stave off elimination in this game, as if Western Force Blue wins this game in regulation, they will knock the Whitecaps out of contention for the final. And so a lot of desperation on both sides, but more so, I would say, on the Whitecaps end, as Western Force Blue still have a game to play later on today, but this is the last Whitecaps game of the round robin. That shot there goes wide. Put in deep there. Sponigal looking to center it. In front of that shot, what a save that was. A rebound chance in front. It's covered and held by Fry. That's her best save of the game thus far, as a golden one-time opportunity just in the slot area. Great setup there. And a great positional save, as well as an athletic save on that part, having to battle with that one, as she lost the stick for a moment on that one. It looks like there's a penalty coming up on the play, so there's going to be a power play here, and it's going to be the first power play of the game. It's going to go for the Whitecaps here. And so that'll be an interesting turn of events here if the Whitecaps can get things started on the power play, looking to gain an advantage. Onto the point, shot there through a screen, that's tipped wide. In the corner now.
Penalty for Metro, number 10.
Richards onto the point. And McDonnell getting a call for roughing here as Richards skates in. Shot there, goes towards the front of the net. Cleared in front. Shot there again. Save made. It's loose. They score! The Whitecaps open the scoring here in the second on a shot from the point. Cleared in front. Another shot. It snuck through the 5-hole, it looked like, of Fry. And the hometown crowd shaking the rattles as they take the lead here in the second. And one thing about these Whitecaps, they know how to win these defensive games and shut things down for the offense, but Metro West Force Blue finished the season at the top of the standings, either the top two regular season teams in the U15 AAA Female League. So this is a battle of the Titans here in the afternoon matinee, as that's cleared down into the zone. And that's an icing here against the Whitecaps. So an offensive zone draw here for Western Force Blue, and look for Western Force Blue to try to put the foot on the gas here in response, as you want to respond quickly rather than later on, as that pressure can start to mount, especially if it's a one-goal hockey game going into that third period. As here come the Whitecaps moving the other way. Zwicker intercepts that pass and moves ahead with it. Transitioning here for Western Force Blue as Brown looks to intercept. Zwicker trying to get that. Onto the point there. Shoveled it back in by Eddie. Eddie gets it in deep for Brown. Brown looking to get a hold of the puck. That one goes in front, sticked wide as Smith tries to hold the line here for Western Force Blue. Down deep for McHenry. McHenry holding on to it. Eleanor McHenry trying to center that. That's blocked it by the captain, Fife Francis McDonald. Pass in front, a shot there from distance. That's covered and held by Reed. She gets the whistle here. And line changes for both teams here for this face-off. And another offensive zone draw here for Western Force Blue. And so many things can happen on those offensive zone face-offs. You draw up plays, and looks like there's a player parked right up top here as LeBlanc jumps into the play. Pass in front and open side for Reynolds, and she whiffed on it. Couldn't get the shot cleanly away as the pass was a little too fast to handle there. What a setup there by LeBlanc. Reynolds unable to cash in there. Great Just like I said, those plays off the draw can prove to be game breakers if you can capitalize. And Smith gets it deep for Reynolds. Reynolds trying to shovel it ahead. Slid ahead there. Nice pass for Richards moving up the right wing side. Shovels a shot there, and that's covered and held by Fry. Line change here for the Whitecaps. And also a line change here for Metro West Force Blue. And the birthday girl, Kaylee Munden, on the draw here in the defensive zone. They battle off the draw, and they win possession here to Force Blue as they move ahead with it. Moving up is Tuddy, trying to get by on defense, and then knocked into the boards there. Looked like by Doiron, trying to get it cleared. Munden holds onto it, fires, tries to shovel it in deep. Tuddy battling for it on the near wall, or far wall rather. Just inside the blue line. It's a bit of a stalemate here. There's two players from each team trying to get that puck free. Into the neutral zone ice, McDonnell looking to clear. Here they come the other way, McDonnell, and a good stick check there by the defense for the Whitecaps, and they come the other way. Sponigal trying to work it free. Great defensive play there by Metro West Force Blue there, trying to get them off the puck. Sponigal gets that loose puck. Comes free down into the offensive zone, trying to dangle through, and response there as Brown looks to get a hold of it. Legere trying to shovel it free. Brown on it, stick check there. And two players go tumbling down to the ice, Legere and McCackern. Backhanded into the zone there by Brophy. That's moved ahead down the ice. Stopped up fire there off the neutral zone. Taken by Galena now. Galena had the pass for McHenry. It gets by her and down into the zone as Krista Beaton chases after it, and she shovels it around the boards. Nice play there by Turner, looking to skate free. And now it's taken by Payne. Payne moves it ahead, looking for McHenry, but it gets by her and down to the zone. Krista Beaton chasing after it. McHenry protects the puck, moves behind the goal. Looking for a centering pass option. She doesn't see it, so she skates behind. Turning with the puck. Slides it in front of the net and went through everybody and wide. And now it's taken by Payne. Good pressure here by Western Force Blue. On the attack shot off the goal post. A rebound chance in front. They bang away. And it's covered finally by Reed as Western Force Blue really starting to push the pace here in the last few minutes of minutes of this play here. Fumbling my words here. It's almost too exciting to watch. That was a close call there with a ripper of a wrist shot off the elbow, it looked like, of Reed, and then off the goal post. Quick release there by Payne. She's got quite a shot. Reynolds now off the draw. Reynolds behind the goal. Looking to shovel it in front of another shot, and a great save once again by Reed. Good pressure here on these face-off wins for Western Force Blue. They like to drop those plays off the draw. And they can win that draw. They can make things happen here as Payne in the offensive zone once again. These both teams at the top of the standings in the regular season. Likely strong rivals throughout the year. In front of the net there, and that goes wide for Reynolds. Trying to win these puck battles in the offensive zone. They're doing so thus far, and they have yet to capitalize as Reynolds tries to spin into the zone to Payne. Taken there by the Whitecaps and cleared out the neutral zone ice. And Eddie looking to reset here for Western Force Blue as that goes out to neutral zone ice. Fired back in. Eddie retrieving that, holding onto it, turning with the puck. Backhands it off the boards to Payne. Payne up the wing. Trying to clear it there for LeBlanc. Looks like they're offside at the blue line, and they touch it up here, so that's going to be an offside against Western Force Blue. So a reset of the play, a neutral zone face-off. And quite a few fans coming in for this game here. You can see on the stands on the other side. Quite a few fans on the Whitecap side as well, and also the Western Force Blue on the other side. As Tuddy trying to get a hold of that in the defensive zone. Good forecheck there as McCackern gets a hold of it off the boards there for Brophy. He rips the shot from the point. Good block there, but taken by McCackern there. Munden with a sacrifice of the body on that play. Blocked it with the shoulder. and that's cleared out to neutral zone ice. Spinning there is Brophy, tries to dump it back in. And Galena having to retrieve it. Slides across just behind McDonnell. She has to chase for it here as she's got Sponigal chasing her down. Off the boards, held at the point. Shoveled back in there. Taken by McCacken. A shot tipped wide. Just a quick paddle of a save there into the corner there for Ava Fry. Onto the point. Brophy shot. Another block there by Munden. Taken free by Sponigal. Sponigal spins and shoots. Oh, and a quick tip there by McCacken, but a good stick there for Ava Fry, who got a little piece of it. Munden trying to check on the wall here. Try to clear it. It's kept alive here. Moved across to Brophy. Brophy stepping in, shooting. Tipped her just wide of the goal as the Whitecaps look to get bodies in front. Now they're getting some pressure on the offensive zone. Back and forth zone pressure chances here for both teams as now the Whitecaps looking to put the Western Force Blue on the back foot. Sliding it across. Stepping free is McKinnon trying to get it in deep. It's in behind the goal. They battle for it. Defense coming behind the goal to try to get a hold of it. Here's McHenry, gets a hold of it. Skated. The puck moved past her there and she couldn't pick it up as it's shoveled back in there by Frances McDonald. McDonnell spinning it around the boards. McHenry, she picks it up on the near wall, trying to slide through the defense. It goes all the way down, and it's taken here by Carrie Doran. Doran turning with it, gets it down the ice as Payne chases after it here in the defensive zone. Marley Payne, the captain of Western Force Blue, gets it through to McHenry. Leading goal scorer slides it across there to Brown, who skates in after it on the left wing side into the corner. McHenry there to help her out. Trying to slide it in front is Zwicker, and she couldn't get the shot away as now out come the Caps. Whitecaps moving ahead with it. Here comes Frances McDonald. Down the wing, holding onto it and firing it into the zone, making that simple play to dump and chase here as Fenton chases after it here for Western Force Blue off the wing, trying to make the quick play, but it's taken by Frances McDonald onto the point. Ripped shot from the point there by Morrell. Couldn't get through traffic, and it's moved ahead to Reynolds. Reynolds, puck went past her, and now onto the near wall. Fired back, intercepted by Payne, taken off the puck. Fenton collided with there. They go down the ice, loose in front of that shot. What a save that was! Fry making a big save there, but they're still in the defensive zone. Force Blue. Whitecaps looking to capitalize. Payne on it. Stick check there. Taking off the puck. Chisholm has a hold of it. She backhands it free. Just non-stop action here in the second, nearing that 5-minute mark. Payne on it. Gets free to Reynolds. Nice tap pass there. As LeBlanc skates ahead. Chips it by the defense. LeBlanc trying to skate free. Good back check there for Olivia Morrell. But it's taken here. Looking for a wraparound. A good active stick there. What action here in the second. Reynolds on it now. In the corner on the forecheck. Trying to center it in front. On the back end. Puts it in front of that shot. And what a save that was. And it goes wide. Back and forth pressure. Back in front again. LeBlanc can't get the loose puck. Tripped up there on the play. No call. Another shot save. Made rebound chance in front. Looking to bury it. And it's covered by Reed. Unbelievable. Intensity and pace of play really ramping up as the period progresses and this game goes on more. Both these teams not looking to give an inch as Munden holding on to it now. Trading scoring chances. Now it's in the Whitecaps zone as the Western Force Blue look to get on the attack. Looking for that game-tying goal here. Just nearing the point of the game with 5 minutes remaining in the second period of play. Eddie on it now. Shovels it in deep there for the Western Force Blue as they look to keep that cycle play going. Keep it in the offensive zone and get some scoring chances here against the Whitecaps. Moving ahead, Tuddy trying to get a hold of it. She gets it deep. And it's taken here now by Flora Murphy. Off the boards to McCackern. Trying to get it out, and she does. Off the bench is McHenry. She gets a hold of it right into the play and gets a hold of the puck and tries to skate ahead with it. Holding on to it. McHenry skates in. Nice move, but it's a good stick check there, or rather with the skate. And now it's taken free. Another chance in front. That's blocked. Good defensive plays here by the Whitecaps. Try to collapse and block those shots as that's moved in front. Not able to get a shot away is Brown. She chases after it in the corner. Number 4 for Western Force Blue. On the boards. Moved ahead there for McCackern. She moves it ahead And now it's taken by the defense. Out to Zwicker. Zwicker up the wing. Stick check there. Takes it off. Retrieves that. Zwicker fires a shot. Save made. Rebound chance in front. They bang away. They score! And Metro Western Force Blue have tied the hockey game. It's McHenry on the rebound. Her 4th of the tournament. And that's just what the doctor ordered for Western Force Blue as they tie the game with just 3:56 remaining here in the second. And that's a big confidence boost going into that intermission in the dressing room where you can come back in the third with all evened up and not down, but we'll see what happens. 3:56 remaining with the back and forth scoring chances has been there could be another goal before the end of the second. And it's a brand new hockey game here after that quick goal. Tension in the air. Eleanor McHenry. Ahead to McPayne. Payne shoots off the goal post. What a ripper of a shot. She's had 2 of them this game just like that. Here's another chance here. Force Blue looking to push here. Getting a hold of it. Reynolds on the puck. Protects it. Moves behind the goal. Wraparound shot. And that's blocked by the defense of the Whitecaps. Another shot there in front. Backhand free. Another save there for Reed. What pressure here by Western Force Blue in the second. They don't want to stop at just 1-1 and take it into the third with tie. They want to lead going into the third here, it looks like. As Payne steps up to the draw here for Western Force Blue. That's fired down by the Whitecaps. Fenton on it now, chasing down the puck. Fenton rims it around the boards. Intercepted there. Oh, not quite. It goes by. I was a bit ahead of the play on that one. That's touched up, and it's going to be offside here at the blue line as Olivia Morel touches that up. What a game we have here today. 3:04 left in the second, 1-1 tie. Smith holds onto it. Moves it ahead. Shipped off the boards. Zwicker on that puck. Smith on it. Zwicker. Here they come again. Drag shot there by Turner. She can't get it through traffic. Back on the point. Here comes McHenry once again. Eleanor McHenry down the right wing side. Holding on to it. Skates free. Tries to dangle. And a good stick save there on the poke check by Abigail Reed. Moved into the corner now. More pressure here. Back in front of that. Brown shot. Save. Rebound. They score! Western Force Blue on the rebound. And it's Zwicker, it looks like. And they take the lead here with 2:21 left to go in the second. What a turn of events here. Western Force Blue. Incredible. Talk about capitalizing on momentum there as they got that tying goal and they thought, you know what? We're not going to go into the third period with a tie. We're going to try to take the lead here and put the pressure on the home team in that third period. Let's see how the Whitecaps respond here. They're going to have to respond quickly. Maddie Zwicker with the goal on that rebound shot. Tuddy on it now in the corner. Tried to backhand it free. Off the boards. Legere gets it free to Munden. Munden a shot, and that was stopped and held by Reed. As the birthday girl looking for a goal of her own on that quick shot. Munden steps up to center ice, or the face-off dot here. That one won by the Whitecaps off the boards. Payne trying to hold out the line there. Takes it free and dumps it back in here for Western Force Blue. Out to the near wall here, taken here by Tuddy. Trying to drag move, and it's taken away here by the defense of the Whitecaps. Off the boards and down the ice. Foot race forward. Here's McCacken, looks to get free. And that's going to be icing here against the Whitecaps. Face off down in the Whitecaps end here for this draw. Payne on the draw. Looking to capitalize here. Off the boards, around the boards it goes. Turner on the puck. Tries to slide it free there. Taken by LeBlanc. LeBlanc can't get the shot away. Moved across. Almost a giveaway here. Whitecaps looking to respond, but it's taken by Reynolds. Good defensive awareness there by Reynolds. She just gets over the line, but it's going to be offside as LeBlanc was a step ahead of the play. And the linesman caught it. So now we'll go back to neutral zone ice for this faceoff. Shaw one there, dumped in there past McHenry and into the corner. As Cleary looks to chase after, she takes a tumble. McHenry behind the goal, wraparound shot. Save made, rebound, they score! It's Brown on the rebound, it looks like. And Western Force Blue with another goal here to make it 3-1, and a penalty on the play as well. As the Whitecaps are going to take a penalty here. And so a power play, Steel Mac power play here as well for Western Force Blue. And so the Whitecaps don't want to take any more of this as they're down by 2 here, likely heading into the third. They'll be on the penalty kill. Let's move it to the corner. And it looks like the Whitecaps have 5 players on here. Shot there is wide, so not, looks like there is no power play here, as now it's moved ahead. And now come the Whitecaps the other way. Sliding a pass across, chance in front, backhand shot, Silver in front, they score! And just the response the doctor ordered for the Whitecaps. With 43.9 left in the second period, they pull within 1 to make it a 1-goal game yet again. And that's going to count as an even strength goal. Pardon my misinterpretation of the earlier play there. And so this could indeed be a barn burner, as I said before, as the game really starting to open up here. 3-2 for Western Force Blue with 30 seconds remaining here in the second period of play. Chopped out there by the Whitecaps. And Richards with the penalty, it's going to be a 10-minute misconduct here for Richards. And so Show should be serving that for a while. And that's not good news for the Whitecaps, as she's the leading goal scorer in the regular season, as well as in the tournament here. And we'll see what they can do in the third period of play as we get the Zamboni on the ice to clear the ice surface here. We'll have a short break as we get the ice surface cleared, and we'll be right back with the third period of play. Don't go anywhere, folks. U15 AAA Female Provincials live here from the Civic Center, brought to you by High Button Sports. Stay tuned for the third period, coming to you shortly. And we are live here for the third period of play. Western Force Blue versus the Quad County Whitecaps. Metro Western Force Blue with a 3-2 lead after 2 periods of play. They climbed to a 3-1 lead in the second, only by a late goal here by the Whitecaps to pull within one. And what was a 1-0 lead for the Whitecaps to start things off. And now the Whitecaps on for the third period, trying to tie things up early here as they look to get things started offensively with some zone pressure. They're going to get that loose puck here. It's taken here by the Whitecaps. Eddie on it now. Excuse me, that's the zone pressure by the Western Force Blue on that play there. As almost forgot that they changed sides for a second there as Eddie gets a hold of it. Eddie moving that across, intercepted there by the Whitecaps as McCacker gets checked there, knocked off the puck. Goes into the corner now. Looks like fans might be looking for a call here as McHenry gets a hold of it on the left wing side, tries to back in front, and it's off a stick as Zwicker chases it down. Zwicker pinning her opponent to the boards. Chipping it in for McHenry. Eleanor McHenry trying to backhand it free in front. It's taken here into the corner as Brown gets a hold of that loose puck. McHenry in the corner behind the goal. Pass it in front of the net. Another chance for a shot here by Zwicker. Zwicker gets a hold of it. Zwicker trying to backhand it free to McHenry. Out behind the goal. Zwicker on it. Back to McHenry. McHenry in the slot there. Onto the point. Galena tries to shot. Spinning with it. Shot there is blocked in front. Another chance there. Unable to get the shot away here. It's taken now by the Whitecaps. Out they come the other way. Good back check by McDonnell. Gets her off the puck. As Sponigal was battling there. Into the corner. McKinnon unable to block that clear. It's held at the line there. Nice play by Flora Murphy, who gets it in and keeps it alive here for the Whitecaps. Turning with it is McDonnell now. Slides it past to Zwicker. Zwicker moving it free. It's chipped there by Chisholm. And now out come the Whitecaps looking to respond. Chipped in there by McClellan. She goes off for a line change as Chisholm goes in deep after it. Chisholm, nice move to get by as he tries to skate in for a centering opportunity, but she whiffed on that and almost taken away there. It's taken away now by Brown, who tries to clear it. Brown gets hauled down to the ice. Taken by a shot there by McCacker and goes into the glass as it popped up in the air. And Francis McDonald putting it to the point. Shot there from distance all the way to the goal, and a great glove save there through the screen by Ava Fry. She snagged that out of the air with 16:55 remaining here in the third period. You know the routine by now. 2 15-minute periods followed by a 20-minute third period in this tournament. So some extra time now, this time for the Whitecaps to try to tie this hockey game. Stepping up to the draw there is Callie Hodgson. Onto the point, it gets by Brophy as a foot race forward. Here's Reynolds, tries to get it ahead. It's moved back into the zone. Fenton have to chase it down, gets a hold of it quickly, fires it off the boards. But now it's in the possession of Murphy, who turns with it. Flora Murphy trying to clear, taken by LeBlanc, battling forward against Hodgson. Taken by Reynolds down the wing, 2-on-1 the other way. Reynolds backhanding in front of that shot. What a save! Score! It got by the blocker side. And Western Force Blue take a 2-goal lead here in the third. It looks like it's Payne with the goal. Brianna Payne puts Western Force Blue ahead by 2 with 16:29 left here in the third. Number 6, Brianna Payne with the goal. And looks like a discussion here with the referee and the coaching staff of the Whitecaps here off that goal. And pressure starting to mount here for the Whitecaps. As I said before, if they can't win this game, they will be eliminated from contention for the championship. So currently the Whitecaps are in third place. If they can win this hockey game, they will bump up to first. But Force Blue will tie Force Red for first place if they can win this game in regulation. And they will essentially knock out the Whitecaps from contention for the championship if they can do so. As Fenton fires it down deep. Brianna Payne with the goal here for Western Force Blue. On there, taken here. Fenton with a check there. Moves out to the near corner. Marley Payne on it now. Captain of Western Force Blue out behind the goal. Chisholm took a tumble there in the center of the ice area. That's all the way down the ice here for Western Force Blue, but they're on it first to stop that icing. Hard check there in the corner. That's going to be called here. It's going to be a penalty. And it's a boarding call. And so the Steel Mac power play back in action here. As the Whitecaps are going to go to the box here, and it's Kerry Doran taking the penalty here. So another excellent opportunity here for Western Force Blue to climb ahead and get this game out of reach of the Whitecaps here with a power play marker. As we get set for this face-off. Eddie on the point area. Move free and taken here. And now there's a tripping call, so that takes the power play to an end here, as now Western Force Blue will go to the box. So we're going to have some 4-on-4 action here as they get a tripping call. So almost a full 2 minutes of 4-on-4 here. So more time and space for these skilled players to work for the next minute and 53 as that nullifies the power play. And that's a good advantage there for the Whitecaps as they try to pull within one once again here early in the third, but earlier rather than later for them as they get a chance here in the offensive zone off this draw to set things up as Payne gets a hold of it here. Circling there against Francis McDonald, looks to pin her against the wall, take the puck away, but it's out free there to Beaton. It gets by her. And a foot race forward as Wicker tries to get that loose puck. Stays at the red line there and onto the stick of Olivia Morel. Morel skating through the neutral zone ice. Holds on to it. It's in her feet. She gets a hold of it again. Turns wide, tries to shovel it in front. It's taken by McHenry now. Eleanor McHenry moving up the right wing side. Holds on to it, waits, takes, and that goes wide of the stick side. She tried to go low. That's taken here on the near wall. Payne trying to get a hold of it. Moved ahead there for Francis McDonald, skating up the ice. She skates ahead with it, holding on to it. Chips it by the left wing side and chases after it into the corner. Played there by Ava Fry into the corner. And looked like it looks like Fife Francis McDonald got tangled up with the goaltender here. And Fry tangled up in the play as well. Not sure if there's going to be a penalty call in the play here or not. They just got their sticks tangled up here in each other's equipment there. Doesn't look like there's going to be a call on the play, so we're still at even strength 4-on-4 here for this faceoff. .34 left to play here in the third. Here comes LeBlanc. Taken here by Sponagle. Sponagle trying to get it free, and it goes down the ice once again here as Flora Murphy retrieves that for the Whitecaps. They're going to have to try to get on the board earlier rather than later because they have 2 goals to score here. And as the time ticks away, the advantage psychologically goes towards Western Force Blue. If they can hold on to that lead, they got 2 goals to hold on to. They could have 3 here as McHenry comes ahead. Got Munden with her, but she can't get the pass across as she goes into the corner after it. Spanego trying to chip it by. It's out in front here. Payne on the point. Holds on to it, waits and takes. She's off the goal. She scores! It looked like it went off the goalpost, but it found pay dirt as Payne ripped that shot from the point. And Western Force Blue take a commanding 3-goal lead here in the third. What a ripper of a shot. I'm not sure if there was a rebound past that, if it fell on the goal line and was knocked in after the fact, but either way, what a shot that was from the point by Payne to create that scoring opportunity, and she could be credited with that one as well. As here comes Tuddy after it now. Looking to create some more distance here between the Whitecaps and Western Force Blue. And Marley Payne will get credit for it. And McHenry. And Munden getting the assist, so a point for the birthday girl here in the third period with an assist on that goal by Payne. As that's moved out to the ice. Backhanded free on the corner. Taken now once again here by Flora Murphy. Murphy moves up the ice, holds on to the puck, skates wide, waits, pass in front, and that shot blocked in front. Reynolds gets a hold of it now. Reynolds skating up the ice. Moves it over. Here comes Payne trying to hold on to that shot, and that's moved ahead. Fenton in the corner. Chipped it to Payne. Payne around behind, looking for Reynolds. It's onto the point. Tipped in front, and that goes wide of the goal. Whitecaps desperate to respond here. They're down by 3 now in the third. They need a goal now more than ever. Dropping it off to the point. Shot there is blocked in front. Just about at the halfway point of the third here. That's chipped ahead. 12 minutes remaining here. Here they come again. Pass ahead. Moved there by McKinnon. McKinnon in the offensive zone. Slides it ahead. And Turner can't get a shot away. Turner pass in front. Paddle off there. A rebound chance in front. Banging away. And it's finally covered here by Ava Fry. Gets the whistle here on that shot from Frances McDonald. Frances McDonald on the draw here for the Whitecaps in the offensive zone. Western Force Blue winning that draw, getting it to Brown. Brown's getting up the wing. Muscling her way through as she gets a hold of the puck. Great play by Brown, getting to the net. Brown shot, save made, rebound chance in front, cleared away by the Whitecaps. They try to get into the zone now. McKinnon gets a hold of it, chips it into the neutral zone ice. Intercepted by McHenry, who makes a nice move. Tries to chip it in for her team. That goes down the ice. McDonnell chasing after it here. McDonnell, number 10 for Western Force Blue, gets it across to Brown. Brown in front of the net, and that's intercepted here by McCackern on the left wing side, holding on to it. Gets it to the point, and that's whiffed on the passing attempt there. One-touch pass for Beaton. It goes all the way down the ice. No icing called here. She grabs a hold of it there behind the goal and looks to set up the play the other way. And head there by Morrell, intercepted by Tuddy. Tuddy's got Leger in front. Tuddy trying to find Leger, and that went off a stick as Hodgson was back to block that defensively. It moves out to the neutral zone ice. Down goes Eddie to get a hold of it. Eddie off the boards. Touched up by Munden to Leger. Leger shovels it in. And Tuddy makes chase here against Morrell. Olivia Morrell looking to pin her on the boards and take her off the puck. That goes off the near wall, taken by McCackern. McCackern. She has Sponagle with her on that right wing side. McCackern trying to find Sponagle, it's just out of her reach as it was touched up by Eddie as well. Into the corner it goes, taken by Hodgson. Hodgson around the boards looking for McCackern. It's out of her reach and goes to the corner to Brophy, who chips it in. Brophy trying to get a hold of it. Leger trips and falls. Taken again, moved ahead. Here come the Whitecaps. Backhand shot off the crossbar, it looked like there. A quick shot there on the backhand. What a rifler. The way these players can shoot even on the backhand that way. Get a puck off the stick very quickly, and it's really something to behold as that's moved ahead for the Whitecaps here. Brophy off the boards. Backhanded free by McClellan under the center of the ice area as Chisholm gets a hold of it. Hounded by LeBlanc. And now it's taken here. A nice move there as Payne looked to get free. Brianna Payne, nice move on the backhand now. Payne in wide, holds onto it, waits, onto Fenton on the point. Fenton waits and shoots, and that was through traffic and wide. And the center ice area, moving wide with it. Chisholm holds onto it, shovels it into the corner. Francis McDonald on it now. Holding onto it, waits, on the backhand, protecting the puck. Doesn't see an option, she skates, waits and shoots, that's blocked. Great defensive play by Payne, gets it to LeBlanc. Now to come the other way, we've passed the halfway point of the third. 3-goal lead here for the Metro Western Force Blue. LeBlanc trying to backhand feed in front, that was blocked. Another chance in front on to McHenry, but it's taken here by the defense of the Whitecaps. Moved ahead, trying to get it past is McClellan. She chips it by, but it's taken by Zwicker and shoveled back into the zone. McHenry looking to intercept that pass. It moved across. Brown on it now first. She gets to the puck, holds onto it, skating in her own zone, looking to gather some speed. She's got some legs, she's churning with it. Here she comes, churning and burning, and can't get past the defense there. As that's moved down the ice, and here they come again. Whitecaps moving ahead. Shot there, and that's covered and held by Ava Fry. Gets the whistle here with 8:26 remaining in the third. Time starting to wind down here for the Whitecaps, as Western Force Blue really putting their bid here for that championship game. And remember, they still have a game coming up later today after this one. If they can win this game and the next, they're a surefire bid for first place and the championship game. All they have to do is keep the puck out of the net for 3 goals by the Whitecaps here, as Eddie holds onto it. Eddie moves it across. McHenry fires that into the Whitecaps bench on the clearing attempt, and that's almost hit the photographer on that follow through. When you're playing on the ice, you don't think of the staff in the bench or possibly a streamer on the sideline. Sometimes the pucks just fly. You just will look to get it out quickly, and doesn't matter who it hits as long as it gets out of the zone. And you got to be ready if you're potentially in the line of fire, being that close to the ice surface. And photographer looked like she got out of the way in time. And that's a hard check on the wall here. There's going to be a penalty called on the play, and it's going against the Whitecaps. So another power play here for Western Force Blue, as the Whitecaps will be shorthanded here. So not good news for the Whitecaps here, as Madison McCachran, goes to the box here. And so a power play here for Western Force Blue, 7:46 remaining. And what could be the icing on the cake for them in this hockey game if they get a power play goal and put it even more out of reach here for the Whitecaps. Fired shot from distance, deflected into the corner as Munden got a stick on it. And it's a 2 minutes head contact penalty. Deflected in front of the net, and that was a close call there as well, as that one slipped by that blocker side. Tripped up on the play there, looking for a call. Fans looking for a call. No call came as it's moved across here. Payne rips a shot there, and that's covered and fired down the ice here, but not quite. Eddie holds the line there for Western Force Blue, as that's looking for a center for LeBlanc. Munden chases after it in the corner. Kaylee Munden hauled down to the ice. She tries to get back up. It's taken here now by LeBlanc onto the point to Payne. Marley Payne rips it from the point. Half speeder into the net. They score! LeBlanc on the tip. And Western Force Blue extend their lead to 4 here in the third. That'll definitely do it here. On a shot, it was a half-speed shot from the point, as Payne didn't get all of it, but a quick tip there in front of the net by LeBlanc. That makes it 6-2 here in the third with 6:51 left to play. Munden on the draw. Wins it back. Gwyneth LeBlanc with the power play goal. Another chance for Munden now breaking in. Munden moves wide, backhands it in front, and that's blocked in front. Another sweeping shot, that goes wide. Munden hauled down as she tried to get a hold of that puck. Here comes Chisholm the other way. Outlet pass there, looking for McClellan. McClellan trying to dance free. She takes a blow there and falls down to the ice. McDonnell trying to clear past Chisholm. Chisholm pins her to the wall and tries to take her off the puck. Up behind the goal is Hodgson. Kelly Hodgson centering it there. Taken by the Whitecaps, spun into the zone now. Hodgson in the corner. Turning with it, holding on to that puck. A battle here. In front of the net, McClellan's shot there. It's bucked in front. Another chance in front. They hold on to it, trying to get a clean shot away, and good collapsing defense there for Western Force Blue as they block that shot. Just nearing the 5-minute remaining mark here of the third period of play. 4-goal lead for Western Force Blue as the Whitecaps look to get at least on the board here. Taken by McClellan, put in front. That's blocked in front as well. Back onto the point, waiting and shooting from distance. Save made, a rebound chance in front, they bang away. Another great save there by Fry. Off the glass, hops out into the neutral zone ice. And it's taken now. Moved ahead, and McClellan moves in wide. Nice move to get by. McClellan tried to center it. McHenry there. Ooh, and she's tripped up hard, but she gets quickly back to her feet. Here comes Richards. Drops it off. Shot there from the point. Off the crossbar. On the tip. Quick here turnaround chance for Richards. She can't get the shot away. And now McHenry. Or McDonnell rather, tried to move it ahead. Nice intercept there by Brown. She's got McHenry with her. Brown with McHenry. McHenry shot off the blocker. What a save there. Brown moving it aside to McHenry. Here comes Sponigal trying to get it down the wing. Zwicker's on it. She backhands it free to McHenry, who tries to shovel it deep. Here come the Whitecaps moving it across. Richards moves it ahead to McCackern. Drops it to Richards. Richards shoots. Glove down and held by Fry. Face off in the offensive zone here for the Quad County Whitecaps. 4:23 remaining here in the third. And now a shot there by McCackern. That goes off the side of the goal. Chasing down is Francis McDonald now. Moving it around behind for Sponigal. Tried a backhand feed, but it was stick checked early there by the defense. And Eddie, who gets hauled down to the ice. Working in the corner now. Going to battle that puck free, the Whitecaps. Payne on the puck. Onto the point. Shot there. Blocked there, trying to get it through. There's Richards trying to shovel it free. Payne on it now. Payne holding onto that puck. Fired off the wall. Reynolds holds onto it. She's got LeBlanc streaking up the center of the ice. Chooses to skate with it. Dumps it in. Gets a smart change there as line change. Empty net here for the Whitecaps as desperation starts to set in here with 3:33 left to play. 6 attackers on here for the Whitecaps. They need to get it out of their zone and into the offensive zone and get goals in bunches here if they want to try to come back in this hockey game. Moved ahead off the skate there and moved down the ice. Taken here by Fenton. She skates after it. Fenton around the boards looking for Payne. It goes past to Tuddy. Held at the line there by Murphy. She gets it in deep. Payne on it now. 3 minutes now. Empty net at the other end. Fired down the ice. Intercepted there. Payne holds on to it. Hard off the boards to Tuddy. Tuddy. And down the wing, intercepted by Murphy. Murphy moves it ahead, looking for Chisholm. It's worked on the boards here. Time starting to tick away here for the Whitecaps. Moved across. Brophy off the boards. Taken by Chisholm. Chisholm skating in wide. Trips it free, and she gets tripped up there. Looking for a call there. No call came as that moves out behind the goal. Payne on it. There is going to be a call, excuse me. And it is going to be a Steel Mac power play here for the Whitecaps. So, if there is an opportunity to try to climb back, it's now, as they have the goalie pulled. And they have 6 attackers on to the Metro West Force Blues, 4 attackers, or I should say defenders in this case, on this face-off, as the Whitecaps will look to attack and attack quickly here. 6-2 is the score. Onto the side wall, trying to shovel it in front. Loose in front shot. What a save that was by Fry, coming across with the pad. Another chance here. Pass in front, shovel to the side. Chisholm gets a hold of it. Allie Chisholm gets it to the point, waiting and shoveling it to the point. Morel tried a screen shot. That was blocked in front. Another shot, save made, a rebound chance cleared away. Desperate times here for the Whitecaps. Backhanded off the boards, taken by Reynolds. Reynolds tries to move it out. Callie Hodgson. Out to neutral zone ice, taken here by the Whitecaps once again. In comes Doran, fires a shot off a stick, and covered and held by Ava Fry, who gets the whistle. With 1:32 remaining here in the third period of play. Sean Richards on the draw. Trying to win it back here for the Whitecaps. Still on the power play here. 1:03 left in the man advantage. Down to the corner it goes, trying to move it across. Turner gets it onto the point. In deep it goes. McCackern in the corner. Off the boards onto the point there. Back to McCackern. It's just out of a reach, taken by Eddie now. McCackern will get that loose puck. Francis McDonald in behind the goal. Holds onto it, waits. Turns with it. Shoots there, and that's a good glove save once again for Ava Fry, who gets the whistle here for Western Force Blue. And we still have a power play here. 32 seconds remaining for the Whitecaps. Goaltender pulled. As 53 seconds on the clock for the game. Another shot in front. That's blocked and chipped ahead. A foot race for it. LeBlanc's got an empty net. It's waiting. Gets on wide, and a good stick check there for Murphy in desperation to block that empty net goal. LeBlanc in the corner. Moves it around behind the goal. Taken out by the Whitecaps. One last rush here. 30 seconds to go. They come down the ice. Moves in wide. Galena chops it. Into the corner. McCackern onto the point. Shoveled across. Intercepted there by Payne. Looking to get ahead with it. Marley Payne gets free. Puts it in front to LeBlanc. Backhand shot. She scores. And with 6.7 left on the clock, that'll ice the game here for a 7-2 final for Metro Western Force Blue. A dominant victory here. As they will tie Metro Western Force Red after this game is completed with 4 points of their own, 2 victories. And they still have a game on the way against the Fundy Highland Stars, which is the last game of this Saturday evening, taking place at 6 p.m. And Cohen's going to be covering that one.
Metro goal, scorer number 5, LeBlanc.
LeBlanc with the goal, McDonald on it, and that'll do it here. Metro Western Force Blue win the hockey game, a score of 7-2, and eliminate the Whitecaps from contention for the championship game. Congratulations to Metro Western Force Blue and commiserations to the Whitecaps. They came in hot this morning at 8:30 with a 2-0 victory, but couldn't capitalize here against the top-seeded regular season team in the Metro Western Force Blue, as they secure at least an opportunity for themselves to advance further, given the result of the next game they have to play. As there's still spots in the air, but Quad County Whitecaps, the host team, and the first to be eliminated from championship contention, as the next couple games are going to be very interesting here moving forward in the tournament. And we'll stay tuned, of course, as we announce the MVP for each side.
MVP for the Whitecaps, number 4, Joanna Cleary.
Joanna Cleary getting the call for MVP of the game here for the Whitecaps. She goes to accept the award.
And MVP for Metro goes to number 6, Brianna Payne.
Number 6, Brianna Payne getting the nod for player of the game. MVP for the Metro West Force Blue, and she celebrates here. And that'll do it here for this one. Victory for Metro Western Force Blue. And I thank you for tuning in to this one. Coming up next is the skills competition at 2:30. And Cohen will be hosting that. And so we'll see you in that one next. And then after that skills competition, the next game of the tournament is the Metro East Inferno taking on Metro Western Force Red. That should be a good contest as well, as we start to find out who's going to stay and who's going to go, as those top 2 seeds are going to be determined by those last 2 games. And we'll find out who's going to be in the championship Sunday when they finish up. So thank you for watching in this one. This has been Brendan Maloney from High Button Sports. We'll see you in the next one.